Hello everyone, I am back. So let us play some Broken Sword 1. So we just made it into Ireland. So we're trying to solve this mystery of this guy who just died. That what's her name? Lori or some Nikki, I think. She is a journalist and trying to solve this mystery of this guy dying by some costume person. So we're on a hunt to find out what happened to these people. So welcome back everyone. Hello there, Right Papa. Welcome to the stream. And let's restore our game. So we just got to Ireland, so we didn't actually do anything here.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside. Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
Yeah, this game is pretty good so far. I'm enjoying this.
I'm George Stobart, and I'm with the good guys.
You're a head case, mister. A few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I, see what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin, heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year.
Alright, let's get some more information here.
What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No.
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
Alright,
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown, see? And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub, the clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for a kid like you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't, 'cause he's not here now, but if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure. Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the films.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Loch Man.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worst. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows. I could have been hiding anything. I would have gone home, but my legs had lost their stuffing.
Alright.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Lifting drains.
Dead right. How did you know that?
Work experience course at school. It gives me a choice of going down the drains or up the chimney.
You're kidding. Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
Alright.
Have you ever seen anyone wearing one of these?
Sure. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Of
That
course.
belongs to the killer clown you're looking for.
That's right.
Can I have it?
Sorry. I'm keeping this as evidence.
You should have told the cops.
I did. They weren't interested.
You should run tests on that, mister. You could identify the murderer with a sample of his snot.
Yuck. I don't think so. Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on. I just want to show you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do tricks. Father Mahoney told me I'd burn in hell if I did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's all.
No way.
Do you recognize this matchbook, McGuire?
No, sir. I never seen it before in my life.
Alright.
Ever heard of Thomas Merlin? Or the Gruber Electronics Corporation?
No?
No. Of course not.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Alright. We're gonna dodge our options here.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Let's go into the bar here and find out what else is going on.
It was a beer-stained piece of toweling.
Good barkeeper's always a good person to talk to here.
Top of the morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
That's not a bad idea. Do you have a vacancy?
I could, if you don't mind waiting until the last guest checks out.
No problem. When will that be?
When the undertaker comes to collect him.
Talk about the clown?
Have you served any, clowns recently?
No, you're the first today.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his, by any chance?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to track him down.
Me too. That son of a bitch should be locked away.
Did Pegram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 nights plus breakfast.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional methods. It shouldn't be kept under pressure. or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and worn with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
Oh, hello, Amberstein. Welcome back.
Here's something which might interest you.
It doesn't.
Do you recognize this man?
No, I don't. What do you want with him?
I've got a score to settle.
I don't want any trouble in the bar, mister. If it's a fight you're looking for, see Father Mahoney.
A priest? A man of the cloth?
Sure. And he teaches the boys how to box at the youth club. According to Mahoney, it develops character. Isn't that right, Pat? Didn't he teach you the art of pugilism? Doyle.
Sorry, Michael. I was miles away. What did you say?
Never mind.
Let's look at this.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
That's disgusting.
Uh-huh. I found it in the sewers.
Well, what's the idea of waving it around in my face? You're worse than old Ron. Put it away, man.
Hey, bartender?
Landlord, if you don't mind.
Sorry. Shake my hand, why don't you?
Now, why should I do that? What have you got up your sleeve?
Nothing. Come on, just shake my hand.
Oh, not just now, mister. I have to be careful on account of the health restrictions.
Aw, jeez.
Everybody has an excuse for not shaking my hand.
May I borrow this towel?
Sure you can, on one condition.
What's that?
You keep it away from old Ron.
Who's Ron?
That's him in the corner, with the hygiene problem.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
No, sir.
Do you recognize the name on this card?
No. Should I?
Nah, it was a long shot.
Okay.
Look, I gotta be going.
So lots of people to talk to here.
Hi, my name's Stobart, George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Do I know him? Do I know the good professor himself? No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
It's the science of archaeology, Pat. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons and flavored condoms, more likely.
Alright,
Did anyone from the village work at Pegram's dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of them put together?
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them history fellows yourself?
That's right. Professor Stobart, Miskatonic University.
You're an archaeologist, and you're asking us about the castle.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien. The gentleman was talking to me. How come you didn't leave with the others?
I didn't know they'd gone.
Oh, yes. Packed their spades and shovels and away they went.
Seems I missed all the excitement.
What excitement.
What do you make of this tool?
It's for lifting manhole covers.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
It's a handsome mug on that fella, to be sure. Is he a film star?
no.
What does this false nose mean to you?
No, you're a clown.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
No, boss.
May I shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill me beer if you do.
What do you think of this towel?
Now, there's a fine piece of cloth if ever I did see one. Such craft must surely come from linen cupboards of the Vatican itself.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
No.
No. No. No.
Does this security pass mean anything to you?
Well, no.
Oh, hello, Vice Papa. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Bye for now.
Let's talk to this other guy here.
Hello there. My name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm Shaw. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
Yeah, hello there, Grand Elemental. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this game's pretty interesting so far.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful spectacle.
So it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh no, I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea. With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
I don't get it. Are you saying these Templar guys invented bank charges?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose they did.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh yes, they were arrested and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the 10th century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
Hello.
How can I get into the castle?
But those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found at the castle?
Now there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Do you know where I can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that, but he's gone from the village. A sore point with our esteemed host, I might add.
Do you know where Pegram has gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmarn. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down, we can get back to normal.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
Nope.
Oh no. Thank the God for that.
Oh, let's see.
Why is Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest, that's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bill. Poor Michael's seen red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Can you tell me more about the landlord?
Mick Leary? He's what you call a would-be sophisticate. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory.
I never worked out why he did that. It's much too dark in there to read.
That's true. Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in Braille.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I'd say it was for lifting manhole covers.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nope, I've never seen him before.
Alright.
Does this red nose suggest anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
No, sorry about that.
What do you make of this tissue?
I guess that muck on it is grease paint.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no, you don't.
Does this towel mean anything to you?
Sure, it's one of Leary's towels. Are you planning on stealing it?
Just borrowing it, if you must know. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The design is Middle Eastern, I'd say.
What can you tell me about this ID pass?
Gruber Electronics. I've never heard of it.
Alright,
Goodbye for now.
next guy.
He wasn't listening.
Alright.
My name's George.
Pleased to meet you, mister. My name's Fitzgerald.
What can you tell me about the castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes, when I was a kid. Then one of the little uns fell off the wall, broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right. Did you work at Professor Pegram's dig?
What gave you that idea?
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Something to do with horses?
Wrong. It's for opening manhole covers.
Oh, really? Well, you learn something every day.
Oh, you don't have much information for me here.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I'm sure I don't know him.
What does this red nose suggest to you?
Blood.
Why's that?
I used to bleed a lot when I was a kid. Every time there was a playground scrap, I'd end up with a bloody nose. I wouldn't have minded, but I wasn't even involved in the scraps.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Shake my hand.
It's a trick, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right. I can't seem to fool anyone. Ever seen this towel before?
Doesn't it belong on the bar?
Very observant, Fitzgerald. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No.
Check out this pass.
Thomas Merlin? No. Never heard of him.
See you later.
Alright. Oh, let's talk to this guy here. Last guy we need to talk to, I think.
Hi there, old-timer. What? Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a sinner. Pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Can I buy you a beer?
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochbarn Castle is haunted.
That's what the kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right. Nothing human, anyhow.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure. With me very own eyes.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wee stunted beast, long beak, straggly, flappy wings.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal? A rabbit or a skunk or something?
Skunk? In Lochbarn? That'll be the day. No, that was a ghost, to be sure.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh,
Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
that's the scrawny fellow who was poking around at the castle, isn't it? No, I don't know him.
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, sure. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Crazy old man.
Can you identify this tool?
No.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
I can't tell without me glasses.
What does this red nose mean to you?
Nothing.
You could make use of this tissue.
Never use them. Those things are unhygienic.
Hey, would you like to shake my... no, on second thought, forget it. Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
What does this matchbook mean to you?
Nothing. Go away and stop bothering me.
Take a look at this ID card.
I don't know anything about it.
Of course not.
I'll see you later.
What is this thing?
As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed this piece of wire.
Okay. Didn't get the way out. There's no other way out. Alright, I think we're done here. We talked to everybody here. I talked to the kid, make sure nothing else popped up.
Hey, McGuire,
What?
do you know anything about Pegram's dig?
He wouldn't let me anywhere near it. I offered to help, but he chased me off. I didn't want to see his smelly old hole anyhow.
Did anyone from the village work at the dig?
Pegram bought some students and bums with him. He reckoned no one in Lochmarn would know what to look for. The only local guy who worked for him was Sean Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald says he's never been anywhere near the dig.
He's having you on, mister.
What do you think this wire could be used for?
Stealing cars. There's only one problem.
The local policeman?
No. Nobody in Lochmarn has got a car.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
I'll talk to Fitzgerald again, maybe. Which should be this guy, I believe.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
Yes, I do. What you want with him?
I want to talk to him about working at the dig.
What makes you think he did?
The boy outside told me.
I can't imagine anyone employing Sean Fitzgerald on a dig. He wouldn't know a post hole from his elbow.
Goodbye for now. Mr. Fitzgerald? McGuire says he saw you working at the dig. What's more, he saw you talking with Pegram.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he? So where did Pegram go?
Yeah,
I
where'd he
don't
go?
know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Peagram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
The man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem. Hey, I just seen a big red...
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out! Noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Alright, so let's go back out and see what we can do about him being hit by the car.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I, and I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass, but the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
That's the same guy. Same guy that was talking.
Hey, Maguire,
What?
did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't scare me. Anyhow, I'm only borrowing it.
You're pretty cool, mister. For an old guy.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
We can't do anything here.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Check out my card.
I've seen it, for heaven's sake.
Does this piece of wire mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
May I have another beer, please?
Certainly, sir. Same again?
Yeah, please. How is this stuff made?
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honored fashion. suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Alright. So is this going to be a puzzle, or is this going to typically put the item on the, imagine it use that wire that we picked up.
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug. I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Oh, that was pretty easy enough. Go down the cellar, I guess.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Back upstairs. Yeah, there's nothing else here, it looks like. Maybe I opened the grate upstairs, maybe. Yeah, I guess we go back upstairs. Pull this grate, see what happens, if anything.
I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
So the kid must have it. That's the only thing I can think of. So let's go down in here. Can we go in the grate? Open it, but I can't go in.
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position. Hey, McGuire.
What?
Nothing here.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor.
Oh. How nice.
It was Peagrim's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Alright. I'll think here.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Oh, that's nice. I don't think there's anything else down here. Let's talk to Mr. Leary again.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I found your flashlight.
So I see it. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Phew. What a beauty. I bet you wish that was real, don't you?
Look, I gotta be going.
Oh, I guess we have to do something else. I think we're done here for now. I guess there's only one way to go. Oh, let's go here. Let's talk to this guy.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice.
Alright, let's talk to this guy.
What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. But if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
Nice.
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Huh.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
Well, I guess this is how you get into the castle.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Can't actually do anything here. Oh, there we go.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland. I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock. There was a narrow crack between two of the stones where the centuries-old mortar had crumbled away.
Do I have anything here? I got this. This might be enough to put a hole in it. Let's try that.
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
Well, that's a little dangerous.
I tugged at the lifting key and found it was held quite securely.
So I guess we can climb over here. Ah, the goat. So we have the unfriendly goat. So can I get over here at all? Or is the goat gonna bother me here? Mr. Goat?
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
Alright. Tangle up the goat trick here. Let's go down to the evacuation site, I believe. Alright. Probably should save my game. It's been a while since I've saved it. Yeah, probably should go ahead here and save it. Oh, got save 11. Lots of stuff here, lots of stuff.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand. As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Alright.
I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly.
I don't think I have anything to make an impression. No, nothing here to make an impression on the of the stones, maybe, since it's not a puzzle. What's this?
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Oh, so we need to fix this to put the things in there, and that's going to open this door up. So, is there anything else in this room that we can actually use? So we got this thing here.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Don't you need water with that? I don't think I'll be able to make an impression without water.
I placed my fingers in the 5... It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team. I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled. I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement. I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
I think I need water of some sort. So where the hell am I gonna get water from? Not here, obviously. No water. Down here. Oh, I guess not many ways to go. Let's go down here, I guess. Got the sink down here. But where am I gonna put water in here? Maybe this ugly rag here? Probably not. No? Wet towel, maybe?
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Okay. Maybe that's all we need. We'll be able to take this wet rag and use it on the impression. That might actually work here. Game's pretty logical so far.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Okay. And then we'll use this mold.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Ooh. And it opens. Yeah, that was a pretty easy puzzle. That was a pretty easy puzzle. Yeah, that evening, back in Paris. Alright, so I'll probably just save it here. Oh, these items that we already looked at before. Do you have anything? What do you got? You got the same. I got the original items that we have. Got any messages?
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slonsha. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I'd better get over there and mourn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
Oh, another murder gonna happen?
I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
Alright. Let's see if we can go in here and talk to her.
The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
Of course, the door is locked.
No way was I going to break through a door like that.
So we have these things here.
I unhooked the first wire.
Okay.
I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
Push it.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
Alright, let's climb up. Ah, it's pretty easy. Let's see what's going on in here.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Oh, we use this, baby?
No. No.
Oh, mostly just paper.
No.
This thing? Really? The crushed shell? Okay. Alright, we are back in here. There appears to be nothing here, so let's go over there. We can't go that way. So I like how this game can only let you go to places where you need to do stuff. That is definitely very helpful.
My God, I'm too late. Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be all right.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why?
No idea.
Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
Except for I don't think the body will be sitting up like that. They'll either lay to the ground or lay to the side. It wouldn't just be up like this.
I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key.
Ah, maybe we use this key to open that box that we have in our apartment.
I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Let's try the key on this little box that we have in here. That we saw in the last episode.
In the dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
Alright.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
What the hell was that?
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's.
So we have this key here.
I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside. It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box. I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come. Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all.
Oh, that
He and
one thing
Imelda
up.
must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
Yeah, thanks for the follow there, hey CJ. Much appreciated. Alright, well, are we doing anything else here? Just thinking deep in thought. The next morning.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Okay.
Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
Of course. I think we did most of these items already. Let's do...
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
I didn't ask about any of these. Maybe do this?
No. Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Alright. I guess that's all we have to talk about here.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinot at the Kron Museum.
And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Alright. So I guess we go to the police. Maybe? I haven't been there yet. 'Cause we've been everywhere else before. Let's go to the police station. Never been here yet.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic, in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur.
He also calls himself Thomas Merlin.
I'm sorry, Monsieur Stobart. I don't know him. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume.
They might want to go through all this.
Maybe not. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Of course, to show random people the evidence. Well, this is the police, so you're supposed to show the police the evidence. But it's also an option just in case there's something that weird.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you, Sergeant?
That's a double-lined Swedish with a crosshatch Bergman strike strip. Now, that's unusual. Pre-war Anderson hinging.
Really?
I haven't seen a reinforced Anderson outside of a private collection.
It's rare then?
In this part of the world, yes. There are only 3 places these are made. Taiwan, Manila, and Slough.
No. No.
No, of course not. That's
See you
fine.
later, Sergeant. It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant.
Oh, I think we're done here. Phone's over here, I imagine. Can't do anything at the moment. Okay, where are we going now? Thanks for the hospital, since this is a new location. Oh, talk to doctor and receptionist here.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
Alright,
I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
I don't think any of this stuff matters.
Does this white powder mean anything to you?
No, sir. I do not pretend to know the pharmacist's job.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir. I do not.
Do you recognize this red nose, sir?
No, I do
not.
not. This is a hospital, not a circus ring. We minister to the sick in body, not the sick in mind.
What do you make of this tissue, sir?
If I were you, I'd have the sample analyzed.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
Sacre bleu! That's exactly what I needed in my last operation.
It is?
I had to improvise with a knitting needle and a couple of corks. If only you'd been on hand at the time. My patient would have given his right arm for it.
That's a little strange.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamat?
No, sir, I have not.
Does the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, it does not.
Look at this, Doc. It's a genuine medieval type gemstone.
Yes, so I see. Remarkable.
I have to take this gem to Marquet. He might be able to explain its significance.
My dear chap, Marquet has other things on his mind right now.
Like what?
His catheter, for one.
Thanks for your help.
Let's talk to the receptionist.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Well, maybe we need to show my ID card.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Oh boy. Oh, isn't she a bundle of fun?
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
Of course.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
Oh, no. Have you heard of the Club Alamut?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it?
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around.
Oh, flash it around. Just because I can.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's save here. Save the game. Oh wow, oh, you get to 44% here.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
Hey, boy. This guy's a little cuckoo.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull-through.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
I don't want to talk to this guy anymore.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
See what we got over here.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
Oh, that's interesting. You can probably unplug it at some point. Alright, I guess we could talk to
Oui,
this.
monsieur.
Is this Ward J2?
It is, but you're not supposed to be here. We have strict rules about visiting hours.
Can't you make an exception? I've come all the way from California.
You must speak to the doctor.
I can't wait that long. What if he snuffs it?
You can't talk like that here. This is a hospital. You will have to leave. The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
Alright. Can we get in here?
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Hello.
Oh, hi. No whistling, right?
Right. What's the problem with Nurse Grendel?
She's uptight and twisted on account of a broken heart.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought she was just plain bad-tempered.
That also. By the way, sir, I wouldn't stand too close to Mr. Shiny's grease valve. If he has an emission, it'll take the shine clean off your shoes. Say, nice sneakers.
Thanks.
Alright, let's go through the options here.
Do you recognize this powder?
You can't do anything else.
Is that dandruff?
No way.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
No, of course not.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's.
Alright,
What does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C.
Alright, that's...
Would you like to shake my hand?
Yeah, shake
Not
my hand.
until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user-serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never, ever play with matches.
I know that, but...
People get hurt when they do. They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Yeah, nobody wants to shake his hand. Now, I've noticed that too, Spurious. That no matter who he talked to, nobody always have an excuse for not shaking his hand.
Do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
What do you think of this, Sam?
Oh, boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone, found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward, and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Alright. So,
see you later.
Yeah. Take care now.
I think we need to unplug this so that we can get into this door here.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
I can't do anything. Alright. Can you do anything here now?
Good afternoon, Doctor. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is hercxena.
Oh, yeah, we can talk to her now.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Alright, so we have to go
Is
talk
this
to
plaster
Hagenmeier
any use
again.
to you?
No, it isn't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No,
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
It's probably
I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay. Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well...
No, it's okay. Forget it.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club Alamut? I've never heard of it.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Alright. So I think we'll go
Thank
back
you,
and
nurse.
talk to the
Au
doctor.
revoir, monsieur.
Go back, talk to the doctor, then come here and talk to him. Because the doctor told me to go talk to the other doctor there. So we're going to do that. Let's go and talk to him.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him? He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Alright, let's talk to him.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir?
So what's your name, kid?
Benoit. They call me Bunny.
Bunny? Jeez, and you don't mind?
Oh, I've gotten used to it.
Okay, Benoit, you're gonna help me.
Anything you say, sir.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Do you know what this white powder is?
No, sir.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Is that a nasal discharge, sir?
No, it's grease paint. Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Huh. Oh, it's a
What
reason.
does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
Oh, no. No, no, and no. No. Oh, God, no.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
Yeah, George's voice is really clear and good.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Does this gem mean anything to you?
Not me, sir.
Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
Talk to a nurse again.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
Nothing new.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Probably should save here. Alright. Almost 50% done with the game. Almost halfway there. Guess we talk to him.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
Wow, 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Alright.
Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer. Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in the sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Yes. Thanks for the follow there out, Gio. Much appreciated.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
Maybe not.
Yeah, giving him a shocking experience might be too much for him.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
I'll come back later.
Well, there seems to be nothing else here. I don't know, maybe we'll have him take his blood pressure. All in the same area. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk to him
Hey,
again.
Benoit!
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Nurse Grendel.
Huh?
Go on, she'll enjoy it.
Well, okay.
Dr. Stobar,
Yeah?
I would appreciate it if you saved your jokes for the intern's restroom. This is a hospital ward, not a cabaret.
Oh, lighten up.
I heard that. Any more nonsense and I shall report you to Dr. Hagenmeyer.
Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
Oh, can't we do blood pressure on you?
Hi, it's me again. I'll come back later. Hi, it's me again.
Alright, so I
I'll
gotta figure out
come
what you
back
can do
later.
here.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Well, now we can do something here.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
Oh, thank you, RJ. Tried to do my best here. Oh, okay, now we can talk.
Hey, Benoit.
You know.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Let's give it to old
Use
man.
it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Then I can walk past it, I bet.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Anthrax?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Can you think of any sensible use for this plaster?
Sensible? No. Puerile? Yes. But you've probably thought of those already.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I have never seen him before.
Alright.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Don't get cute with me.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
It looks as if it has been used to wipe Satan's bottom.
I hate to say it, but you could be right.
Oh, man.
Would you like to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
Of course not.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Branding mice without bending down.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds Middle Eastern.
Are you Thomas Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No.
Then you won't be needing this. Do you recognize this gem?
It isn't an emerald, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, let's
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc.
Let's go in here. Probably have to save it before I go in there. Just in case something bad happens. Alright, more than halfway done with this game. Alright, let's go in here.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod. Right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria
on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Oh boy. Back at Nico's apartment.
Hello, George.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the hercxena?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Well, let's go through these items again.
I showed you the red nose, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
No. This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Yes, you showed me before.
Did I show you this matchbook?
No, it's probably like a new information.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
No way.
Alright.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
We're talking about going to the museum. So I think I'm going to save it and wrap up the stream here a little bit early since the boys stream really took a lot out of me. Let's save here. So we are what? 52%? Halfway done. So we will continue this Friday night. And we'll find out how we can prevent the tripod from being taken. So if you guys are not already, feel free to follow me here on Twitch and on Twitter. So yeah, let me find someone to raid here. Yeah, so let's go for Polymus raid. She's playing some Nancy Drew, the Captive Coast. So thanks again, everyone, for coming here. And my next stream will be Friday night, obviously, which we will continue playing through the Broken Sword. And then Saturday at 1 p.m. we will continue and hopefully finish off Bard's Tale 3. So all we have to do is win the last boss fight, which is easier said than done. And then we'll most likely, depending on what time we finish up with that, we'll either continue with Broken Sword 1, or we might also play some Disney's The Jungle Book. So we'll play a platformer in the 1 p.m. slot after we get done with Bard's Tale 3. And yeah, we'll do the same thing on Sunday. We'll play, hopefully we'll be playing The Jungle Book Sunday afternoon. And then we'll continue in the evening with more the Broken Sword 1. Yeah, yep. No problem, Amazine. So we're gonna go ahead and give a raid here to Hippopotamus. She's also playing an adventure game, Nancy Drew. So let's give her a raid. Alright, and I guess I will catch you guys Friday night. Thanks again for stopping by.